My first guest grilled Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein on Capitol Hill last week. Joining me now is Texas Congressman and former Judge Louie Gohmert. He's a member of the House Judiciary Committee and the Freedom Caucus. I want to talk about the Supreme Court pick in a second, but first, I got to tell you, Congressman, last week I was on vacation, but I heard this story that you thought that you were being spied upon by Rod Rosenstein. What are the details of that?
I didn't mention any names, and I can't. I've just been told in the past that there was great concern about who I saw, what I did, and that I was being monitored, and was even told they know everybody that walks into your office. But after the 48-page expose I did on Mueller and really trying to hold some people accountable that need to be accountable, then I've got to take these things more seriously that people have been telling me.
Well, usually if you sense that you're being spied on, one, you could be a paranoid. If you're not a paranoid, two, you got to look at the people that you've been focusing on. And, of course, Mueller's been that person. Does he have a staff?
Look at their modus operandi.
Does he have a staff that he could organize to spy on a U.S. congressman?
It's what they do. And it's very clear to see they have the capability. But, I mean, look at what they did to Ted Stevens. When they wanted to take him out, Mueller was FBI director. They created a fabricated case, got him convicted until one of the FBI agents blew the whistle on the concoction that they had put together. Look at Kurt Weldon. I mean, they raided his office 2 weeks before his election and then did nothing. And, some months later, they say, come get all your stuff. And now, because they've heard he may be coming out with a book, now they're bringing up his name again as somebody that they're watching, they think may have committed a crime. I mean, this is a MO of these guys. And somehow, some way, we have got to break the back of, this Spygate that keeps going on around here.
Well, you didn't mention Rod Rosenstein, but I will, because he's supposed to oversee the Mueller investigation. Yeah. And so far, I'm just going to run through three things stand out that make him either incapable or a bad overseer of what Mr. Mueller is doing. First of all, he should be disqualified for conflict of interest because he was involved in the firing of Jim Comey. That's one of the reasons the Mueller investigation was started. So there's conflict of interest. Secondly, he signed off on these FISA spying warrants, at least one of them, if not all of them, based in part on an unverified, unsourced, which is not supposed to happen, dossier. So he also signed off on something he shouldn't have signed off. And now he may be involved in spying a U.S. congressman. At least two of those three things we're pretty certain about.
Well, and you've left one out, David, and I think it's extremely disqualifying. He, Mueller, and Weissman, and possibly Comey, but those three for sure, were involved up to their necks in the original Russia investigation for their effort to try to buy U.S. uranium, and they had to actually stifle that investigation, the information, even force their witness they had behind the scenes sign a non-disclosure agreement so that they wouldn't prosecute him, but they stifled all the information that would have prevented the sale from going through, because CFIUS, the Commission on Foreign Investments in the U.S., had to approve that. We know Hillary was on there. After it goes through, there's $145 million that came from benefiting stockholders that went to the Clinton Foundation. And if there was wrongdoing
not to mention the money that Bill Clinton got for speaking.
But if there was wrongdoing by Rosenstein, Mueller, and Weissman in that original Russia investigation, then the longer they draw out this Russia investigation, they can run out the clock on statute of limitations on anything they may have done criminally in the past.
Why, given all those events that we spelled out, why does Rod Rosenstein still have a job?
Well, that's a good question. He needs to be fired.
But we have a president who knows very well how to say, you're fired. I mean, he made a name for himself doing that. So why do you think he doesn't do it?
I'm sure he's getting a lot of advice from people that say, hey, there are Republicans in the Senate that say they'll come after you if you fire Sessions or Rosenstein. But then there are people working for Rosenstein that are undermining Jeff Sessions, working directly for Rosenstein, that are undermining Jeff Sessions, hoping that he'll get fired so Rosenstein becomes the acting attorney general for the rest of the term, because you've got Republicans in the Senate that have said, hey, if he fires Sessions, we're not having a confirmation hearing for the rest of his term. So that means Rosenstein.
Let me throw something at you that is a possibility. Perhaps the president wants everything to keep rolling out in order to kind of break up the deep state. That is, you guys have been investigating a lot of things. Yeah. You've been revealing a lot of things. You're bringing people in to testify. You got another list of 17 or so names of people, the DOJ and FBI, that hopefully will be testified. Maybe the president just wants the process to roll out. If he fires Rosenstein, the attention is going to be on him. Whereas if Rosenstein stays in power, you guys can continue to do the work, and the public will see the whole thing unfold in front of them.
Well, he does need to go. He is hurting the country. He's hurting justice. But the deep state is so far from being gone. In the morning, we're told there's going to be a guilty plea allowed by Imran Awan, who they're going to, as I understand it, they're going to let him plead to some little something.
He was the IT specialist who was working for the Democratic Party officials.
Got family members employed and other people they owed money, that they were ghost employees getting paid by there are over 40 Democrats involved that he was a part-time employee for. And there are witnesses that can, and you have to, when you buy things like iPads, you have to put on a form, how much it costs. And if it's 500 or above, you have to have serial numbers and document everything you buy. So Imran, we're told he would put everything at $4.99 and then say an insurance
bottom
policy
line,
costs
he's getting a pass, and the deep state just keeps going on and on. Congressman, they're giving me a rap, but I have to ask one question.
There are felonies that are not being investigated.
It's got to be a quick answer. Who would you like to see as the nominee for the Supreme Court?
Hey, I'm leaving this to the president. He has done a fantastic job, and my money is on whomever he appoints. And I'm excited to see who that is.
That's a safe bet. Congressman Louie Gohmert, thank you very much for being here. Good to see you.